In this Eternal Return video, we watched this Immortal ranked Xiukai melt his opponents in squad play. Out from Yuki so big, and now Xiukai onto this lead Dylan in the back. Here's the build and the build ID he's using. Guys, if you like my video, please consider subscribing. Let's go. Eternal Return Black Survival. I have some Xiukai gameplay for you guys right now. We are going to be watching some squad play for two reasons. A lot of the players now, the High Elo players, they training for the tournament that's coming up tomorrow. It's going to be an absolute blast. And then the second reason is that Xiukai is just a very good character to play in solos, but he's also an amazing front line to put in front of your team. He's got some very good engage with his E and his W, and his ult can just completely stomp out a team fight depending on whether he can get to that back line. So yeah, the first thing you're going to be maxing out on Xiukai is your passive, which is your T, and then you're going to be getting your W, then your E, and finally your Q. As always, get that point in your ultimate when it's up. So yeah, Xiukai has this interesting passive, right? So his passive ability gives him stacks. It's called like Juggernaut stacks. And these stacks get you extra max HP when you get them. And how you get them is you cook food, because he is chef. So every time Xiukai be cooking, he's actually increasing his stacks. So you need to be preparing stuff. He's going to be going on to this heart a little bit aggressively here. He uses his W there. Okay, and that's that. Okay, so he gets some extra stacks. And then after he gets those stacks, he also does extra damage on his ult for them. Another thing his passive does is that it gives you extra HP and SP regen on all of the food items that Xiukai makes. So it's pretty great for that as well. Pretty nice in teams. I guess you could pass around the items if you feel that way. He's going to be not making leather armor here. He's going to be making some steel armor. He already finishes his Genetian Silver Gun, that's the name of this item. It gives you 105 attack, and it also gives you some move speed, if I'm not mistaken. Very important for Xiukai, who's going to be engaging. Heart just poking out, and she's stunned now. Falls for the W, and this Heart has disrespected. Iceall going to be coming around, doesn't even need to, and they are going to down her right here, right now, all three members. Her teammate seems to be pulling through. There's a Jackie and a Lennox running here to try and save her, but this is not savable. I think Jackie now gets stunned up, and that's going to be the end of Lennox there, actually getting bursted down first, and their whole team just goes down. Calamity for that team, and so much items here to just loot. White Crane fan now possible for Xiukai. That's going to give him skill amp plus the healing reduction that it comes with. He also manages to finish his commander armor very, very early. This is so big. So big. Their whole team just feeding Xiukai's team. And with this early advantage, Homing and his team might be great. This Xiukai player, his name is Homing. He is currently an Immortal ranked Xiukai player, so very experienced on this character, very strong player, and he probably will be the backbone of this team in terms of just carrying them and fights. Knows what he's doing. And very interestingly, he put 2 points in his Q before starting to max out his passive there. Or rather, his E would get maxed out. He did put a point in his passive when it was available. But just interesting that he put that point in the Q, that extra point. It might have to do with the fact that they fought there, but I could be mistaken. The route could be you put 2 points into your E, 2 points into your Q, 1 into the passive after you get your ult, and then from there you max your passive first. Okay. Now he's gone back to the order, maxing the W first. Just going to be hitting the Q, E, W into this bear and gets that bear down. Get some leather. Puts it on the floor. Doesn't feel like he needs it. Okay. The leather is actually for a sheet of Shah Jahan. they're going to be seeing some people pot into beach. It's a Yuki and Lee Dylan. Now, we just need to wonder whether they're going to get aggressive or not. Lots of action in team play, guys. Well, Lee Dylan going aggressive onto ISO. Yuki and her tried to get them down. The ult from Yuki so big. And now Xiukai onto this Lee Dylan in the back, protecting the ISO. Yuki doing so much work there. And now the Adriana going to fall. And that's going to give him the iron sheets he needs. Someone else takes them, actually. Sad life. Okay, and the iron sheet gets dropped now. And as soon as he gets some leather, he's going to be able to build that sheath of Shah Jahan. Pretty big item. That was a great fight. Yuki doing so much. I think we should watch that fight again, guys. Let's go back. Let's just rewatch that fight. So much happened there. We're gonna go back. Okay. Alright, so Lee Dylan engaging. There Yuki goes in. There Yuki gets down before he can use his ult. Our Yuki doesn't. And then, of course, goes on to the Lee Dylan, the Xiukai. And Yuki here on the side doing so much work. And easy down onto the Adriana. Let's get back into the game. Great fight, guys. Great fight. They team fight so well together. No one panicked there. And very big ult from the Yuki. He won that match. Definitely, he won that fight. Just the game sense of Xiukai, though, to be able to isolate the Lee Dylan, seeing that the Lee Dylan wants to get aggressive onto ISO, just sticking with his damage source and doing a lot of damage onto the Lee Dylan there with the burnt to a crisp. Yo, I didn't know this before I made this video, but Xiukai's Q is called Lost in the Sauce. Is that not a saucy name? What? You got lost in the sauce. Okay, there's going to be some activity here by Hotel. The activity is actually the ISO on their team. So now there's pings to go to the center. He's going to be using his E to get over the wall. Of course, you can use your E as Xiukai. Don't only do it as squads. Do it in solos as well. Get over the walls, path efficiently. Don't waste time. And finally gets the leather that he needs for that sheath of Shah Jahan. And this is actually full build, or at least this is the build that he wanted to get. Of course, he was building knee pads in the build that you would see earlier from the start of the video. But he decided to go straight jacket sneakers, skill amp, SP regen, great on Xiukai. And he's just been crafting so many food items. He's got what looks like 12 stacks. My eyes cannot see that number. It looks like 15 now. 18, yeah, it's 18 stacks on Xiukai because he just keeps making items. Keeping those stacks up, getting those extra HP stacks, and making his ultimate more of a threat. Great to see. He's going to be activating the console since he spawned closest to it. And there's an Emma here. What's great about squads is that he doesn't have to focus on getting the meteorites that he might need for his cabana. His teammates can just farm those wolves. They can farm the bears here as well. And they can just focus on trying to get him the meteorite that he needs for the cabana. And he can just focus on getting as many stacks as possible. As you're seeing here, he's got a lot of options for food. Just going to be making a lot of water here. Now get some food done as well. Some of that fish getting cooked up. And there seems to be a lull here. They're going to have to move out of the zone pretty soon. Not a lot of time left. Well, there's a minute 30 seconds, but I mean not a lot of time left before all of the zones around them are closed. this part of the map actually just shut down. Everyone should be full build on the team. And Xiukai just getting all of the stacks that he needs. Wick spawns. They're nowhere near Wick. They're actually very close to it. What am I saying? They're very close to Wick. They could be the people who could contest. She won't be pathing this way because the zones are closing. She would be pathing to a different region, surely. Probably more to forest side, hotel side, avenue sides is where you're going to be seeing Wick. They're going to be trying to run at her, or maybe just run to this hyperloop here. But they taking their time, and now they're going for it. Okay. All right, running around. Get back to the side. They get back onto the bridge of pond. And do they think Wick is still there? Is Wick still there by any chance? They're setting up like they want to take it. So, possibly. Okay, they're going in. So, Yuki and Isol there just going ahead of Xiukai. And that's so much damage. Everyone just looting that at massive speeds. Those two going to be running to the hyperloop. Xiukai running the other way. Feels like he can get out of this faster with his E over the wall. Doesn't even get that on time, so he's just going to be able to walk into school. And yeah, they get the Wickeline. So a Force Core and a VF Blood here for the team members. Xiukai doesn't have anything that could build into the Force Core yet, but we'll be seeing whether he passes those items to one of his teammates. Just trying to think here. Does Isol need a Force Core? Not really. He builds Laurel. Oh, and the Yuki is already in a fight, and now burnt to a crisp, doing so much, and the Yuki, now they burn up the Rossi. That fight was an absolute stomp there. The Yuki on the other team landed an ult, wasn't enough. They just blow up that other team with tons of damage. And now an Aya trying to poke. There's 5 players left, meaning that this Aya is either solo or there's 2 players left. And Emma coming, she's using caltrops and trying to burst down the Isol, but it's not enough. Emma going to be falling here, and this is going to be the win for this team of 3. What a performance by them. 11 kills between them. 3 kills, 8 assists for this Xiukai. Explosive match for them. And that is how to carry squads on Xiukai. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you guys learned something. If not from me, then from the gameplay itself. I hope you took some time to pause it and just rewatch it, see some of the stuff going on. This has been your boy, Loy Meets World. Subscribe if you like it. I'm signing off. Peace.